Podcast, The Rhythm. Go live, Vegas on the screen, feeling the flow, so pristine. Boom.
Across the universe. On the Starship Enterprise, under Captain Kirk. Star Trekkin across the universe. Slowly going forward, 'cause we can't find reverse. Star Trekkin across the universe. On the Starship Enterprise, under Captain Kirk. Star Trekkin across the universe. Slowly going forward, still can't find reverse.
Welcome to Star Trekkin in Vegas. I am Goldie Vegas,
And I am Stephen Biggs.
and we are here to talk about the Star Trek convention. But first, we want to acknowledge our sponsors. Big shout out to Goldsmith Realty Group, where your dreams are golden. I am Goldie Vegas, and I am able to assist you with real estate anywhere in the Alpha Quadrant. I also want to give a big shout out to our podcast producer, Go Live Vegas. If you are interested in hosting a podcast in Las Vegas, he is actually running a special right now. He's waiving the $600 setup fee, and instead of $250 an hour, your podcast will be $150 per hour. So if you are interested in a podcast doing something like what we're doing here today, you can reach out to info@golive.vegas. How's it going?
It's going. Ooh, I'm loud. It's going great. Yeah. Sorry I wasn't here last time. I have been having the worst insomnia, which of course will come in to one of the stories that I will be telling today about the convention.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, we have been making plans at the Geek Shock podcast about upcoming events and everything. So we're hoping to get those off the ground, and yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Well, I'm still doing real estate, as I said before, and I'm doing my monthly show. We are having a residency at the Double Down Saloon for Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly. So I have a flyer, Aaron. I don't know if you have the flyer available. It's red and white, I think. Yeah, there it is. So I'll run a monthly show at the Double Down Saloon called Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly. We start at 9:30 p.m. with Detective Frog, followed by the Vegas Villains. Also, my band Goldie Vegas and the Playboys, and Wheelchair Mosh Pit. That is no cover. You got to be 21 to get in. Shut up and drink, as they say, at the Double Down Saloon. I'm also doing a Joan Jett tribute set at the Punk Rock Museum. I have a flyer for that one, too. That one is like green and black and white. There you go. So I'm super excited to be doing a Joan Jett tribute set over at the Triple Down Bar inside the Punk Rock Museum. They actually have a lot of Joan Jett items in the museum. We're going to be doing a lot of Runaways songs as well. They were a landmark all-female punk rock band back in the 70s. Joan Jett founded it when she was 15. Can you believe that?
Inconceivable!
It's amazing. So I'm super excited. So that's all the good news I've got and all of my updates. Okay. So let's cut to the chase. We went to the Star Trek convention this month.
Yes, at the beginning of August. I was only originally going to go for one day. I was only going to go for Saturday because we were going to be promoting this show and everything. And then I found out that Frakes' panel was going to be on Jonathan Frakes, who, again, this is a story that's coming up here. Been 5 years in the making. I found out that Jonathan Frakes was going to be there on Friday. It's like, okay, I guess I got a ticket for Friday. And then our friends Kirsten and April were part of a panel on Thursday.
Oh, I'm mad I missed that. I feel
Yeah,
bad.
talking about Star Trek: The Experience,
Yeah,
and
that's so cool.
and that was a very cool panel.
Oh, but she did say she wants to be on the podcast.
Yay!
So we may have to do another Andorian episode.
Oh no! Oh no! I need better makeup. That's-
Well, my wig has to be replaced.
oh, yes. Yeah. Right, because Brush with Greatness, who was it? J.G. Hertzler wore the wig?
Yeah, and Robert O'Neill. Okay, so let's talk about Frakes because that's what's queued up.
Okay.
Okay, so tell us about the upcoming picture.
So this picture that'll be coming up here shortly, this is Jonathan Frakes at the Star Trek convention in 2019. And they had just started, I think, Picard, and he was directing, and he was also in a few episodes. And people were asking him questions about it, and he had this T-shirt that said, "Don't ask me, I signed an NDA." So anytime at one of the panels they asked him something about an upcoming episode, he just flashed the T-shirt. And I was like, okay, that's hilarious. And occasionally people have said, "Hey, you kind of look like Frakes a little bit." And I was like,
White guy
okay.
with a beard.
yeah, white guy with a beard,
guy with a beard.
and glasses. And so I was like, oh, all right. And so I had planned the next year to show up wearing that outfit, a
Nice.
blue suit with a T-shirt. And I got everything ready to go. And, of course, the next year was 2020. First year of COVID. So the
man.
convention was canceled. The convention was canceled the next year in 2021. Frakes got busy in 2022. I had just moved to Vegas in 2023, so everything was in storage, so I couldn't find it. So this year, I finally had the
Finally.
ensemble, which is
Wow.
coming up here
It really was like
shortly.
5 years in the
5
making.
years in the making. And so I said, okay, Friday I'm going to go. And again, I don't do cosplay. You cosplay all the time. I really don't unless I'm getting paid. And so
Yeah, I need
this,
to learn how to do that.
yeah, so this is my one and only cosplay idea that I ever had. And
That's amazing.
And-
it's kind of like the Superman when they're like, you want to go as Superman for Halloween? You just wear a Superman T-shirt underneath your shirt and just walk around.
yeah,
with
exactly.
your shirt open all
Which
night.
I have done that too.
Oh my god! Of course you have.
And so, okay. So here's the behind the scenes story on this.
Okay.
So it's Friday. Like I said, I've been having some insomnia issues. So I'm kind of dead tired. And I tell a friend of mine, I said, I am dead tired. I'm hoping to make it through the day, blah, blah, blah. I want to get this thing. They show up and they've got some gummies.
Legal gummies. It's legal here in Nevada.
Yeah. Well, now
Just for those people who don't know.
here's the funny part. I had no idea
You no idea what?
that they were CBD gummies.
No, they were not CBD gummies. They were cannabis gummies.
Well, yes. I had no idea. I had no idea because they were calling them things like sativa and indica, and
Oh.
and I, being late to the marijuana game, had no idea these were other names for certain
Oh.
types of things. So they said, now this bag is to pick you up, and this bag is to. Uh-oh.
Well, whoops.
Oh, yikes.
Oh no. Well, we're live on YouTube, right? Oh, good.
Okay. So this one's to pick you up, and this one's for later on tonight. It'll help you sleep. And I was like, okay, cool. So I took one right away. We're sitting in the panel. April and I were watching some panel, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of a nice little pick me up. And then that panel was over, and the Frakes panel started, and I got in line because I was going to ask, because last year he and Brent Spiner talked about how they would just between takes break into song every now and then, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if he's ever done a musical, because I know Brent Spiner has. I know Gates McFadden was the other person in this panel, but she'd done musicals. But I never found out if Frakes didn't, so I was going to ask him if he'd ever done one, and particularly had he ever played Harold Hill in Music Man, because that just seems like perfect casting. And I
Not a question I would have thought of.
yeah, and I know. Well, again, last year was the strikes, and they couldn't talk about Star Trek at all. Really, they had to kind of, if they did, they would have to say, so this sci-fi TV show that was big back in the 90s. I have a story about things like that. So people were just asking about everything else that had to do with their lives and career, and I thought that was actually kind of cool. A lot of people didn't. So I get up there, and I work my way up to the front, and I am the next person in line, and I kind of got the suit jacket spread out so they can, because the spotlight's right on. So if anyone looked over, they would see don't ask me, I signed an NDA thing. And I was all set to ask the question, panel's over.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So I knew he was going to be, all three of them were going to be doing signings in the dealer's room.
Yeah.
So I went there and I was like, oh boy, I'm getting kind of tired. Man, whatever I had is really wearing off.
A few moments later.
Yeah. And so I get in line, and what was kind of cool was I was getting double takes from people. They'd be like, oh, it's not Frakes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, including one from Brent Spiner, which I'm
my gosh.
very proud of. He kind of did one.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm in line to get a Frakes autograph, or I actually just paid to get a selfie, and the line monitor came by, and she was like, "Okay, make sure you got your cash candy." Oh, for a minute I thought you were him. I was like, "Why are you standing in line?"
Like you nailed your cosplay. It was you could have won the costume contest.
Yeah, it was actually. I was like, okay, cool, it is working. But and then the people in front of me were like, "Oh, we were gonna say the same thing. Like, you're here dressed as Frakes," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, good. I was kind of worried as if anyone would get it. Okay, good. So it's working, but I am crashing hard while I'm waiting in line, and I'm like, I think after this I'm kind of done. And so it's slowly but surely starting to kick in. I was like, man, whatever that person gave me was, I'm just crashing hard from it. And the whole time I'm thinking it was just something from like a health food place, like some kind of a pick me up from like GNC or something like that. And so I get up there, and I'm pretty close to the front of the line. And Frakes looks up, and he kind of gives me a smile. He sees the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, good. I got to come up with something to say when I get up there. And, and so here it is. I get up to the line.
You look really happy. You look like you're with it.
Oh, yeah. I was really pulling it together. Yeah. Except, so we get this picture taken. And he kind of looks up like, are you going to say anything? Are you going to, like, are we going to shake hands, whatever? And I just went, and
I think you are a special person.
Yeah, I'm very special.
Oh my God, that's
and
hilarious.
at this point, I am just done. And so I was like, okay. And I was texting people I was going to meet later. Like, they did a free showing of Galaxy Quest. And I was like, I am done. And here's where it really gets weird. So I'm walking up the thing, and I know I'm just kind of, 1 foot in front of the other, trying to get out of the place. The 3 people stopped me in the hallway, and were like, "This is just the best cosplay, because you're not here as Riker, you're here as Frakes." And I was like, "Yeah," and they took some pictures and everything. About a minute or two later, I could not tell you if that encounter had actually happened. It felt like I had dreamed it. Like, it was so. So I was like, man, what am I having a stroke? Or, what is going on?
Very interesting.
So I'm heading out. I head by the Masquerade bar to see if there's anyone there that I know, but I'm really trying to just get to my car and head. And I see another friend of mine sitting there, and he's introduced me to a friend of his. And again, I'm just kind of holding it together. And at a certain point, he's like, "Yeah, so what'd you do?" I saw Frakes. I did this. And I said, "Man, no, a friend of mine gave me something to pick me up, but whatever it was is really worn off." And I can't make words right now. I'm just going to go home.
Oh my God.
It was really screwing with my short-term memory. And the funny thing of it was, in the moment, I knew exactly where I was. Everything was cool.
Yeah.
But like seconds later, everything just seemed like it was. Now, kids, don't try this at home.
You have to be 21 to consume.
Yes, but the next part, do not try. If I'd known what was actually happening, I wouldn't have done it. I would have just stayed at the Rio and conked out for a while. I got in my car and drove home. And again, like I say, in the moment, I knew exactly where I was, exactly what was going on around me. But you'd have to live here. I went up the 15 and then turned south onto the 95 to get home.
Oh my gosh.
And after I made that turn, I was like, how did I get here?
Oh my God.
So, kids,
Oh my gosh. Don't
do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, groovy, baby.
So
learn
then,
from
so
your lessons.
yeah. So I get home and I conk out.
You got some good sleep though?
Oh yeah,
Good.
yeah. I woke up the next morning and I was telling, one of my roommates about it, and he's like, "Well, what did she give you?" And I said, "Well, here, let me show you." And he looks at it, he goes, "Oh, sativa. Yeah, this is marijuana. You were high, buddy."
Oh my God.
And I was like,
Have you ever been high before?
"Yes," but
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Well, I know. And another friend of mine said, he goes, what I find doubly fascinating about this is you did not discover the awe and mystery of marijuana until your 60s.
That's what your friend said to you?
Yeah, and it's
Would
true.
you do it again?
Oh yeah, but if I knew what it was, I knew when I was
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Then it would have been fine. It was just the circumstances. I was
My
like,
mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
very special chocolates.
Well, let's look at the rest of your photos.
Okay. So yeah. These were just folks in the hallways. They were getting ready to leave. As
You
I
don't
was
know
heading in.
them?
No.
She's a Romulan from the original series. Right?
Yes. And
That's a cute outfit. I like it.
yeah. And I believe, you can't really see it. He does have pointed ears, so I think he is trying to be Spock.
Oh, okay.
And that's the best he could do with his hair or something. But maybe not. Maybe just a rando science officer. I guess
yeah,
he's just,
maybe he's just wanted to be a Vulcan.
Yeah. So,
I mean, my costume was nobody specific.
yeah.
This is very creative. I can't remember if I saw this. I feel like I did. This is a Horgon
Yeah, from Risa.
from
And,
Risa.
and you wear this around a much smaller version of this. You wear a much smaller version of this around your neck to indicate that you are
Seeking-
available.
You're seeking Jamaharon.
Yes.
And
The
you know,
best
you
one.
mentioned Galaxy Quest. You can see in the background there's like a setup. They really paid homage to Galaxy Quest at this convention.
Yeah, yeah. One of the creation not having the Star Trek license anymore is kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, they can't promote it as a Star Trek convention.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they can have things like Galaxy Quest, or last year they had the Orville people
Yeah.
in.
Oh, nice.
So it's cool. They can kind of expand the TV sci-fi.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
thing, this is something I may drop some money on.
Yeah, I saw it set up.
It's from a toy maker called Tomy, and it's a die-cast model, huge model, being about 2 or 3 feet long, of the Refit Enterprise. I actually have their version of the original series Enterprise,
Oh,
and it's great. The detail on them is fantastic. They do a real nice, very detailed paint job. Like for this, they're going to go in and paint all the individual plates on the hull, like
wow.
they did in the first movie. They call it Aztecing, and so it's really going to be a nicely detailed thing.
I always thought it'd be cool to put one of those kits together, like of Deep Space Nine or something.
Yeah.
I just never did it. It seems like time consuming now. I'm like, no, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, right.
It's like maybe when I was sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, and this one, the one that we just saw, will only set you back about $900. So so no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Okay, so I've got a picture coming up. This is Wilson Cruz. He is the doctor from Star Trek Discovery. He was also on a show called My So-Called Life that I loved when I was a teenager. And when I met him, I wept.
Really?
I've never ever done that before, but I was like, I don't know. I have so much love for him and what he did, in that show and in Discovery, and he's just an inspiration to me. I love him.
I knew it. I knew you were bluffing. I knew he was bluffing.
And I'm a Klingon, so I was crying as a Klingon, being like, I'm a Klingon. I'm not supposed to be crying.
Arrest her. Klingons have no tear ducts.
So then this is a picture of me and Jesse, my friend that was the other Klingon. What are those little animals called that because the dog has on like a costume.
Is that the one from
TOS?
the Enemy Within?
The one, I don't know. It's
You with the horn on his.
But of course, we love dogs, so we got to stop and pet all the dogs. The dog was so cute.
That's hilarious.
But I remember that animal in TOS being like a really snarling.
Well, because there were two, because it was a transporter accident.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And this is our friend Eric Allen Hall. This is a very cool picture. So Eric is a cosplayer. He's been going to that convention forever and ever. And it was so nice to see him. It's always good to see him. And when we ran into him here, he was dressed like a Borg. So, of course, we had to get assimilated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eric, he was a huge presence at the experience. Anytime convention week would roll on, or he would just roll in on a random thing. He's part of a cosplay group in Salt Lake City that actually goes out and, to like hospitals to see, cancer kids and that type of thing. So, he's really made a lot out of his.
He's a super nice guy.
And he had like 20 or 30 cosplays for the convention this year. It's crazy.
Look at him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that guy. Okay, up next is the doctor from Strange New Worlds, Babs. Do you know how to say his last name?
I used to know. I need to. That's one of my friends.
I
of
looked
color.
it up earlier today. I was going to try to learn it, but it's got like 5 syllables.
If white people can learn to say Daenerys Targaryen, we can learn to say.
I know, right? Good point. So I just really enjoy him. He was in Dune.
Yeah.
We wanted a picture with him. And then, of course, my little purse when I was a Klingon was Worf's head. So we had to go show Michael Dorn his head. And he was freaked out about it. He was like, when they came up with those, I really didn't like it. But he thought it was funny and cute. Like, he's smiling. He was cool about it. He was really nice. And then I've got a picture coming up of just some random Trekkies in the hallway. We saw this Orion girl, and we were like, come get in the picture with us. And Jessica was strangling everybody. And then this is the next one coming up is our producer, Aaron. He came and spent the day with us on Saturday and did some filming. He also bought me an autographed picture of Wilson Cruz. I've got it right here on set with us today. So that was really sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you, Aaron. You're so nice. Yeah, I woke up the next morning crying. So, but it's I couldn't believe I had that reaction. Kept going. I was like, I never I don't know. It was so weird, and it was like I've been watching him on TV for so long. I just felt like I've known him all my life. It was just like, it wasn't like it's because like I met somebody recently that I had seen on stage at a show here in Las Vegas. But then when we were face to face, it was kind of like, I was like looking at a stranger. But like when I looked at Wilson Cruz, I felt like I was looking at somebody I know.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it's a weird relationship that people who have any kind of fame at all have with their fans. Like the fans feel like they know the celeb.
I think a lot of times fans think they own the
Well,
celebs.
yeah, and kids, you don't.
No, yeah. So I always try to be. Oh, so the first night. Okay, so I'm going to tell a convention story. Okay.
Okay, yay.
So I have been collecting money to help feed the homeless at this convention for 7 or 8 years, and the most we had ever raised up to last year was $600. And so I have a can, and I took my can up there, but I only bought a ticket for Saturday, and I think it was Thursday, maybe Wednesday, I can't remember. So we couldn't get into the convention, so we were just waiting outside for the girl who puts it at her booth. And so while we're waiting there, John Paladin comes out. He was going to do our makeup for us. And so I'm talking to John Paladin, and Garrett Wong from Star Trek Voyager walks by, and he's like, Goldie, hey. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And then I immediately turned and completed my conversation with John. But I could see my two friends that were standing there waiting for me to be like, oh, my God, Garrett Wong just said hi to me. But, that's so rude to John to be, geeking out over Garrett. Besides, I've known him for so long.
Yeah.
It was cool that he said hi to me. And then I went to, lean down and pick up all my stuff because I guess I set it down. I leaned down, and right as I leaned down, Ciroc Lofton walks by and waved at me. And Jesse was like, Ciroc just walked by and waved at you.
Yeah.
John ended up giving us a vendor's wristband, so we got in for free. We didn't have to buy our ticket.
Yay.
But we did buy our ticket, so that kind of sucked. But we didn't know we were going to get the wristband. But we were able to get in and drop off the can, and we raised $1,500.
Nice.
Yes.
That's excellent.
So that's the most. We more than doubled our goal. Our record from last year. So that's so exciting, and that's going to go to the 3 Square Food Bank here in Las Vegas. It provides all of the food for all of the shelters, and I think the schools too, Clark County schools. Yeah. So anyway, Jake's here. Is that a Jeffrey Combs autograph? No, that is Wilson Cruz, the doctor from Star Trek Discovery. But anyway, so okay, the next day. Sorry, I was like, why was I telling that story? The next day, John Paladin, the makeup artist, texted me and he was like, do you have any wigs? Because we don't have wigs for the 2 big Klingons, J.G. Hertzler and Robert O'Neill, Martok
O'Reilly.
and Gowron. O'Reilly, sorry about that. He was like, do you have any wigs? We don't have any wigs. So I was like, yeah. He's like, I need a white wig. And I was like, well, the wig I have is more of like an Andorian style wig. He's like, bring it, I need it. So I just took him all my old ratty wigs plus the wig that you wore.
Yeah,
So I don't have that wig anymore.
Oh, that's funny.
But we did have an interaction with JG. We have it in a little video reel that our producer Aaron put together. ADHD powers activate. Oh my gosh. That's why I can play the saxophone and the piano and the guitar and spin fire and sew dresses. Okay, so here is our beautiful video that Aaron made for us with all of our.
I am Kajef. And I am The Rock. We are the daughters of the House of Kador. We have murdered the son of Moog, and we are looking for the son of Worf.
It's for my pets. Yeah, that's the ticket. It's for my pets.
It's for my makeup. Yeah, sure it is. So where do you live? In LA?
Me?
Yeah.
Detroit
Oh,
area.
Detroit. Oh, okay.
And I got to get a picture of you too.
Press it down first.
No, just stand there.
Yeah, this looks more natural.
Come get the picture.
I have video too, so video's going.
Oh, where's my phone?
Thank you. You're all set.
When are you going home?
We should be looking for something. What are we looking for? We have the head of Wharf. We are now looking for Alexander. Yeah.
I have eyelashes. Should we do eyelashes? I'm good.
Okay, I think it's okay.
She's the one that supplied the wig.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You know, I looked at it and I said, I said, oh, John, that looks like a runway model or something. It's nice and smooth.
That's an Antorian wig I wear.
And then I put it on, or he put it on. Yeah, you know him?
Yeah, he did our makeup.
You can't be trusted. But and it looks great.
Oh, good.
Did you see it? Were you here last night?
No, we weren't here, but I saw pictures.
Yeah, it looked great.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad I was able to help out.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
She's giving you or selling you the wig?
Yes. I was like, you recognize Goldie.
Yeah. Oh, that's Goldie. When you got all that on, how much did you know that's you?
I was like, of course people know it's me. I don't know.
No.
Have fun.
You should have. Well, it is kind of golden, more golden hair, isn't it? Yeah. But are there any? She's just totally blonde then.
I know. That was an option. That's okay.
There's zero blonde Klingon.
I know. I could be the one.
Yeah, it could be
the one and only.
And then I would know. There's Goldie with the golden blonde hair. Yes.
Girl, it's nice to see you.
Wait.
Can I use one of your phones to take a picture?
Kind of started gathering on both sides.
Oh, you're holding the head.
We killed Worf and we're going to kill Alexander too.
Have you shown Michael Dorn that yet?
No, we haven't seen him.
Okay, because he's here.
This
so.
is probably from the 90s. It's vintage.
Yeah. Is it a lunchbox? What is it exactly?
I guess it opens and it's like you are not allowed in here or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I was him, if I was Michael Dorn, I would be frightened to see that. I'd be a little upset for selling my head as a lunchbox.
I'm sure it's licensed.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's nice to see you.
You too.
Have fun.
Have a good day.
You too.
Oh, right. Good.
It is a good day to die.
Just for Goldie. Goldie, okay.
That's Goldie.
Okay. All right, let me give you a hug. I don't want nobody killing me.
No, it's a joke. It's not serious. Nice to see you.
And we're wanting to knock you all out at the same time.
My sister in the hospital. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jess. I'm Laurent.
And I'm Surah.
Oh my God!
Sorry, I got lost. How are you?
She knows you from
You're so cute.
You probably don't remember, but it was just the two of you in there, and like I was late to the photo op, and I really appreciate it. And the park was such a great.
Hold up, one with the hat off too.
That was so cute. Thank you, Aaron. That was such a great video, and it was so much fun to be there doing that.
This just in. Babs Olusanmoken.
Olusanmoken. Where's he from?
Nigeria. Nigerian American, actually.
Babs
Olusanmoken.
I know. So I have a group of Nigerian friends. Of course, I have a group of Nigerian friends. Okay, so so on the last night of the Star Trek convention, they have the gala, and that's basically is that the Rat Pack show? No, the gala's on Saturday. Sunday they have the Rat Pack show.
Yeah.
And that's where select members of selected Star Trek actors do like a shtick like the Rat Pack, like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. We did not go to that, but we were out in the casino, and I saw a man walking through the casino in a mask and tuxedo. And I said, "Oh, hi, are you a musician?" Because I was thinking the symphony or whatever. He said, "Oh, yes, I am a musician." And I said, "Oh, I'm a musician too. What do you play?" And he says, "I play the ukulele and the harmonica." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's so interesting." He's like, "Goldie, I'm Vaughn Armstrong, who played the Admiral on Star Trek Enterprise and a lot of Aliens, didn't he?"
Korath at Star Trek: The Experience. He was the Klingon in the Klingon Encounter.
Oh, very cool. He's such a nice guy. Maybe we can get him on.
Oh, that would be great.
An upcoming show.
We've had several. He's one of my favorite people to talk to because.
Yeah, I told him. He was like, "It's me, Vaughn." And I was like, I always tell people how much fun you are at conventions. Like, he's always down to hang out with the fans. And
yeah, there's video somewhere of me, Eric, I don't know if.
Eric Allen Hall?
No, Eric Randall, Vernon.
I haven't seen Eric Randall in a really long time.
Yeah. And I want to say Kirsten, but I know it's those three for sure, us three for sure.
I thought you had a picture of you and Kirsten at the convention.
Oh, we do. Or it's in there somewhere with the universe's most...
Oh yeah, I was about to say that's a new angle. Let's see.
I want to jump in just for a second.
Okay.
I do want to apologize in advance because I had an embarrassing situation. Goldie will attest to this. When I first got there, I was filming when they were getting the makeup on, and I did a really, really dumb thing. And I mentioned I was really excited to be here at Star Wars, and the room went silent. So I just thought I'd mention that. Do not make that mistake. There is a difference. So.
Yeah. That's okay. It's all cool. It's not like all sci-fi.
And so this video. So
Star
again,
Trek is the best,
for those of you who maybe have gone to Star Trek: The Experience, Vaughn Armstrong played Korath. And you can see it in all the ads. The fools, you will regret defying me. He's that guy. and so there's video of the three of us and Vaughn Armstrong all saying, "Fools, you will regret defying me."
Nice. You as a Klingon?
No.
Oh.
Just us randomly at the convention.
Nice. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's what's so much fun about the convention is that you get to, talk to the actors in your favorite TV show. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Especially... Like at the Rio, there are certain bars that are just kind of known to be sort of post-show meetups. The Masquerade, Shutters, what used to be called the I Bar. I don't know what they're calling it these days, but yeah. And those are just kind of random places that that the celebs can come and get a drink, and most of them are really, really approachable.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that let's say aren't quite as famous. They're just more than happy to be there and talk to you about showbiz or whatever. And it's really
I've had
cool.
a lot of fun interactions.
Yeah.
Okay, so next year, you got any cosplay ideas for next year?
No. I don't usually do cosplay, and mostly. See, here's where me being an old man comes into it. Mm-hmm. I mostly just dress for comfort these days.
Yeah, well, I'm wearing leggings right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So doing a cosplay. Here's the only way I would actually do a cosplay next year, is if we actually had a room at the Rio.
Okay.
Because I learned from 2008 when I pulled my Klingon character Kralk out of storage, and I didn't have a room at the Hilton back then. So I stayed at the Sahara because it was it was monorail close.
Yeah.
And again, when I used to play a Klingon, it was half hour on, half hour off. And, because it's 40 pounds of leather and spandex and a rubber forehead in the in the Vegas heat. And so for that convention, I was in that getup for a good 4, maybe 5 hours.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to get out of that.
Yeah.
We were in it from like 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. And back then,
it was exhausting.
I was, and I was much younger then, 2008. But I went to the Sahara, took it all off, and just kind of took a nap and everything, and then woke up and did makeup touch-ups and everything, and went to put the costume on. And of course, it had been sitting out in the AC in the hotel, and so I put it on. And it was clammy. It was like, oh, it's still sweaty, and now it's all.
You could
cold.
take a gummy, LOL. Yum yum elicus. Oh,
that's
Jake
funny.
says you said it, not me. Nice.
So anyway, yeah, I would need that half hour on, half hour off, someplace where I could air out that costume.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll be our own characters next year. Maybe
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
invent
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
we'll just go be our own.
We have a thing in
our
the
own
pipeline,
aliens.
maybe. Early stages.
So yeah, maybe. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to be next year. I'll figure it out. But we were talking about how we are going to proceed. And we discussed just starting at the beginning of the timeline with Enterprise and going through those. So maybe I'll get some ideas
Yeah.
of the Star Trek convention next year.
Yeah. Maybe do a.
While we're watching
up-
all of Star Trek.
Maybe end up doing some kind of Zindi.
I know, that sounds really complicated.
Yeah.
Somebody did a Pacifican, and I was very impressed because you don't see those very often, and they're so weird.
Yeah. That's what I actually love about the cosplay things, are the people that do the really obscure things.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I still have my Aquans costumes if you want to be an Aquan. I save all that stuff.
That's hilarious.
It's like, even though I'll never wear it again, I need to get rid of some of it.
Well,
but who knows? We might be Aquans. Maybe we'll be Aquans next year.
Or if I can actually get into my storage and find my stuff, I might pull Kralk out, but I would definitely need to get a room at the hotel.
Well, maybe our sponsors will make a lot of money this year. So please reach out to Goldsmith Realty Group today for your dream home. It's always a good time to invest in real estate.
Indeed.
All right, I have some trivia questions.
Okay, cool. Oh, maybe we have the same one.
Oh, okay.
I just have one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do your one, or you want to do it last?
Oh,
I have like 5.
I'll do it last in case one of them is yours, and then I'll go. Okay.
When was the first Star Trek convention ever?
That was my one.
Oh, so you know the answer.
It was in January of 1972 at New York at the Statler Hotel.
Okay, that was my second question.
Statler Hilton.
How many people did they expect versus how many people showed?
They really only expected like about 300 or maybe 300 to 500. Something
And
like that.
3,000 showed up.
And 3,000 showed
Yeah,
up.
that's a successful convention right there.
Yeah, except
Was Gene Roddenberry present at the first ever Star Trek convention?
I believe he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the world's largest Star Trek convention?
Is it? Is it?
It's not necessarily licensed.
Oh.
But it is the world's largest Star Trek convention.
Is it Creation?
Yes. So the nickname for the Las Vegas convention is Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yeah, or Star Trek, or STLV.
Yeah, that's the fans came up with that.
Yeah.
But now I guess Creation has adopted STLV because that's not trademarked, right? Maybe it is now. Maybe Creation trademarked
it. Probably is by Creation. Yeah.
Yeah, that was smart. I'm working on some trademarks myself.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, because trademarks never expire.
No, I don't know much about it. My assistant is working on that.
Oh, your people need to call our people.
So one of the things that I always like to do at the convention is sing a little song. It's been a long road.
Getting from there to here.
It's been a long time, but my time is finally here. And I will see my dreams come alive at last. I will touch the sky. And they're not gonna hold me down no more. No, they're not gonna change my mind. 'Cause I've got faith of the heart. I'm going where my heart will take me. I've got faith to believe I can do anything. I can reach any star. I've got faith. I've got faith. I've got faith. Faith of the heart. Nailed it. We didn't even practice.
No, I just
sprung that on you. That's amazing.
There's some lyrics there towards the end. I'm like, oh, I don't think I know these. But anyway.
All right. Well, thank you for joining our podcast today. Please share it with all of your friends. Live long and prosper.
Yeah. Peace and long life.